Disclaimer. This chapter is an educational analysis of occult practices and cultural narratives. No rituals are taught or endorsed. Visuals and audio are intentionally non-literal. Certain terms have been generalized and sensitive keywords avoided to keep the focus on analysis and viewer safety. Magic is not stagecraft. It is an attempt to recruit, bargain with, or pressure unseen agencies to tilt events in the visible world. Cultures rename it: folk tradition, occult arts, divination, energy work, manifestation, but the engine repeats. Intention, a channel to carry it, and an exchange that follows. Tools vary. Symbols, cards, candles, mirrors, altered states. Yet they serve one function: open a line and invite a response. Here is what usually happens. Attention becomes payment. Belief is reassigned from first principles to the middleman. Dependence grows. Quietly, then obviously. Signals that confirm the channel feel vivid. Evidence that would close it feels dull. Families absorb side effects. Sleep thins, tempers shorten, privacy shrinks, rules multiply. This chapter is not a manual. It is a firewall. We map the main categories of practice. We show how intermediaries are serviced rather than commanded. We trace the currencies of exchange and the escalation into sacrifice. We explain why some presences linger across generations. And we examine the harmless objects, amulets, runes, talismans, that train the heart to outsource safety. Different names, same contract logic. Learn the mechanism, and you can refuse the terms. This is not a tutorial. It's a taxonomy. Across cultures, magic describes attempts to influence outcomes by recruiting unseen intermediaries. The surface language changes. The mechanics repeat. What matters is the request, the channel it opens, and the debt it creates. Category 1. Subjugation. The request is control, tilting another person's will. It rarely looks like domination. It begins as influence, alignment, openness. Then it creeps. One person's center of gravity is pulled a few degrees off true. Decisions start to lean. Habits bend. A bond forms that wasn't earned. Category 2. Infatuation. Artificial attraction, not affection, not slow trust. A surge, a fixation that burns without source, then empties at speed. The point is not love, the point is leverage. Once desire is switched on, it can be redirected, taxed, or withdrawn. Category 3. Separation. Engineered fracture. Couples that were steady suddenly break. Families polarize. Colleagues who cooperated now compete. The request is surgical. Create distance. The method is mundane. Misread texts, timed coincidences, fatigue that breeds short tempers. The effect is systemic. Category 4. Affliction. Health as a pressure point. Sleep collapses, appetite distorts, skin burns without cause. The mind fogs at the same hour every day. Medical tests return inconclusive. The request was, slow him down, keep her in bed, make work impossible. The body absorbs the invoice. Category 5. Illusion. Fabricated scenes, counterfeit signs, vivid dreams that claim authority. The point is persuasion. Memories melt into visions, A message arrives that flatters a bias. A trance offers answers tailored to the hope in the room. The tool is theater. The product is belief. Category 6. Information. People ask for secrets, where a thing is hidden, who betrayed whom, what will happen next. Answers arrive in riddles and half-truths, accurate enough to hook, wrong enough to bend choices. The currency is attention. The cost is trust transferred to the channel. Category 7. Protection and prosperity. Shields that promise to repel misfortune. Tokens that claim to attract money. When they work, the owner reassigns credit from the unseen source to the object, the gesture, the phrase. The mechanism is always the same. Misplace trust, then feed the token. Category 8. Place and weather. Houses that won't settle, rooms that churn with unrest at dusk, trips that derail, week after week, at the same turnoff. The request was banal. Make this place uncomfortable for them. Keep him from arriving on time. Minor disruptions compound into major losses. Category 9. Timing and coincidence. Soft edits to the timeline. Being 2 minutes late for the one meeting that mattered. Arriving 1 minute early to witness what would have stayed hidden. It just happened is often enough. The nudge is subtle. The outcome is not. Category 10. Identity and narrative. Rewriting how a person sees themselves. Small, repeated cues that move who I am toward what I was told. A new story forms. It explains the past, predicts the future, and locks the present. When identity is captured, everything else follows it. This taxonomy is not exhaustive. It is sufficient. Different faces, same structure. A request, a channel, a cost. Nothing here is free. And the more precise the category, the easier it is to see the price before it's paid. How practitioners use unseen intermediaries. Strip away the costumes. What stays? A workflow. Step 1. Scouting. Someone reaches for an intermediary to look in, listen, shadow. Surveillance is framed as care. Protect him. Watch over her. But the data stream is the point. Dreams are seeded. Coincidences are staged. Words are overheard that should have stayed inside a head. The target feels watched because they are. Step 2. Insertion. A presence is assigned to a person, a family, a house, not as a visible figure, as pressure, as noise at night, as heaviness on the chest at 3 a.m., as a flicker at the corner of the eye. The goal is not spectacle. It is compliance. The fastest way to compliance is fatigue. Step 3. Amplification. Emotions are dials. Guilt can be turned up. Doubt can be widened. Anger can be primed at a specific trigger. Tone of voice, a word, a smell. Love can be redirected to what does not nourish. Fear can be attached to what would heal. The operator asks. The dial moves. Step 4. Messaging. Theatrical answers arrive through boards, cards, mirrors, automatic writing, pendulums, spinning bottles, phone apps, trending portals. None of these are powerful by themselves. They are props. The force sits behind the prop. The prop says random. The pattern says targeted. Step 5. Confirmation. The most potent drug is validation. It's real, I got a sign. It's working, the dream came true. Once a person is fed a correct detail about their life, their guard drops. The next detail is wrong by 5 degrees. The wrong detail becomes the new course. Step 6. Maintenance. Channels degrade unless fed. So the practitioner institutes care. Repeat phrases, place objects, keep hours, refresh scents, avoid certain rooms, open certain windows. The rules grow. Each rule is a tether. The more tethers, the less freedom. Roles emerge. The broker introduces the client to the channel, sets expectations, collects payment. The operator does the gestures, speaks the phrases, manages the space. The host carries the presence long-term, usually without full consent. Their body logs the costs. What does the intermediary get? Access. What does the human get? Short-term results and long-term dependence. The promise is control. The reality is logistics for a will that isn't yours. Notice the safeguards that never appear. No one says, "If this makes you smaller, stop." No one says, "If this demands secrecy from your healthy relationships, it's a trap." No one says, "If this asks you to insult what others hold sacred, the price will be high." A final point, manufacturing credibility. The show uses statistics. One hit among 20 misses is enough if the hit is dramatic. This is the Barnum effect with incense. The audience remembers the bullseye. They forget the 19 arrows in the dirt. Mechanically, it's simple. Scout, insert, amplify, message, confirm, maintain. A pipeline from request to result, with a meter running in the background. An agreement begins at recognition, treating the intermediary as a source. No parchment required. One sentence is enough. One gesture is enough. Once recognized, a line exists. On that line, value moves. Exchanges have currencies. Currency 1, attention. Hours and focus poured into the channel. Checking, refreshing, repeating, watching. Attention is food. Where attention goes, authority follows. Currency 2, belief. Not belief in the unseen source, belief in the middleman. It worked, so it deserves trust. A subtle reroute. The reroute is the point. Currency 3, acts. Doing something wrong on cue. It can be small, it can be private. The size is less important than the agreement. I will cross a line when you ask. Now the lever exists. Currency 4, traces. Hair, nails, inks, markings, engraved signs, phrases drawn in places they don't belong. Physical links that say, "This is the handle, pull here." Currency 5, emotion. Rage rehearsed, longing fed, despair looped. Repeat an emotion often enough, and it becomes a doorway that opens from both sides. Currency 6, objects. Charms, sigils, scripts, bracelets, plates. They are billed as holders. They are actually anchors. The more anchors, the more points of contact. Escalation follows the subscription model. Once the channel is open, it must be kept active. When the operator slows, invoices arrive. Misfortunes that nudge them back to compliance. See, you forgot the routine. That's why this happened. Fear does the rest. Sacrifices appear when results plateau and patience runs out. First tier, subtle sacrifices. Sleep, privacy, honesty with loved ones, healthy habits. The channel always demands time. Time must be taken from somewhere. Second tier, sacred boundaries. Mockery of what others hold sacred, violations performed to signal loyalty to the channel. The operator becomes a messenger for contempt. Third tier, blood. Offered outside any sanctity, dressed as tradition, excused as symbolic. The logic is arithmetic. More cost, faster results. The arithmetic is wrong, but the act binds. Fourth tier, legacy. Promises that outlast the person. Let this continue through me. Protect my line. The cost is access to the line itself. Children who grow up under a ceiling they did not choose. A pact is not only what you say yes to, it is what you become willing to neglect. Neglect compounds, neglect becomes character. Exits are real but not here. This is a map, not a manual. What matters in this chapter is structure. Recognition opens the line. Exchange keeps it active. Sacrifice cements it. The sooner a person sees the structure, the sooner they stop paying the wrong bill. Some presences do not leave when the operator dies. They sit at the edge of a bloodline and wait for familiar doors to open. How does a line get marked? A story is told again and again that glorifies the channel. An object is handed down with rules attached. A name is repeated because it protects us. A room is kept a certain way because that's how we've always done it. Each fragment is harmless alone. Together, they form a grammar. Children learn the grammar before they learn the cost. Patterns then emerge that look like fate. The same age when accidents happen. The same month when marriages fail. The same addictions with different bottles. The same arguments written in new slang. Outsiders say, that family always has drama. Insiders say, this is just who we are. Neither is accurate. The more precise sentence is, we are reading from a script none of us drafted. What keeps the script running? Objects with rules, rooms with rules, phrases with rules. Don't move that. Don't say this. Always do that at night. The rules pretend to secure. They actually anchor. What are the signs that a legacy channel is active? The past feels closer than the present. The dead feel louder than the living. New relationships must pass an unwritten test to be accepted. Joy triggers guilt. Rest triggers fear. Leaving the pattern feels like betrayal, not growth. Who pays? Often the sensitive child, the peacemaker, the one who wants everyone okay. They take the heaviest role, carrying the house's weather so others can ignore the forecast. Their body logs the storms. Their voice speaks the old lines. Their dreams carry the old symbols. They think it's empathy. It is inheritance. The family spirit is not folklore for campfires. It is the accumulated effect of an access point left unclosed and then normalized as culture. Once normalized, it replicates without conscious consent. How does a line change? Not by argument with the dead, not by contempt for elders, not by smashing objects. Lines change when doors are audited, when rules are questioned, when loyalty is measured against health, when trust is re-anchored in a source that doesn't invoice the children. This chapter names the pattern. The next chapter covers hygiene and defense. For now, the main sentence is simple. If a tradition demands secrecy, fear, or smallness, it is not protection. It is maintenance of a subscription someone else started.
The danger of harmless magic.
The most persuasive doorway is the one that smiles. Tokens that call themselves just cultural. Bracelets with letters just for luck. Plates with shapes just for balance. Runes rebranded as heritage. Mixed alphabets sold as protection. wallet cards with planets and animals, keychains with sacred geometry. None of these claim a ritual. All of them redirect trust. How do such things work? Not by metal or ink, by attention and belief. The owner offloads safety into the object. If a good day follows, the object is praised. If a bad day follows, the object needs feeding. Either way, the object becomes the focus. The focus is the channel. Harmless Magic sells 4 promises. Promise 1, protection without relationship. Wear this and you're safe. From what? By whom? On what terms? The ad does not say. The ad cannot say, because the ad is the protection. Promise 2, power without responsibility. Say this and doors open. Do which doors close? For whom? For how long? The silence is part of the pitch. Promise 3, identity without effort. This symbol is you. Is it? Or does it merely flatter? If a mark on the wrist tells you who you are, it will also tell you what to do. That is not identity. That is programming. Promise 4, tradition without discernment. It's ancient. So is arsenic. Age is not virtue. Repetition is not truth. Heritage can carry both wisdom and traps. Calling something old is not the same as calling it good. What are the red flags? Objects that work better with secrecy. Phrases you were told not to translate. Signs you were told not to research. Rules that grow each month. Emotions that crash when you forget the routine. Loved ones who feel pushed to the edge of your life by a token at the center of it. A home that feels less free the more protected it becomes. What is really being bought? Not safety. A subscription. You don't own the token. The token owns your attention. The more you pay attention, the more it bills you. In time, in mood, in distance from what grounds you. A final caution. Some items are pure placebo. They fall away when you stop believing. Others are not. They are invitations pre-addressed to any presence willing to answer. The wearer cannot always tell which is which. By the time they can, the invoice has arrived. The exit is not a stronger token. It is not switching one bracelet for another, one alphabet for another, one plate for another. The exit is a re-anchoring of trust, the refusal to feed the object economy, and a choice to stop outsourcing safety to trinkets that demand secrecy and attention. Harmless magic is not harmless if it trains your heart to look away from what actually keeps you whole. The smallest shift of trust is the largest door you will ever open. This is not a scare, it is a map. Study the map before you buy the keychain that maps you.